Ladies and gentlemen, I was woken up this morning at 5:30 by a phone call from my number one source who has given me the full laydown on the Ohio State 2023 quarterback recruiting situation between two different guys Ryan Day has zeroed in on. And guys, we've got huge news to get to. We've got huge Noah Rogers news as well. Major intel. But when it comes to the quarterback situation, Ryan Day is looking at two guys right now for the 2023 class. The main option being Austin Novosad, who is a kid that currently is committed to Baylor. He's from Texas, and the first time I had heard about this kid was when he moved up over 200 spots in Rivals' recent update. Now, the latest intel suggests that Austin Novosad is officially on commitment watch at this point for Ohio State. We expect him to flip his commitment from Baylor to Ohio State. And guys, there's so much that goes into this. We've also got Brock Glenn, who's kind of a lower end four-star quarterback as the backup plan for Ohio State if they are not able to flip Austin Novosad. Now, the major intel I'm getting on why Austin Novosad is probably going to be flipping his commitment from Baylor to Ohio State is due to the development that Ryan Day has to offer in this Ohio State program. And guys, my number one source straight up told me the transfer portal is helping Ohio State in this situation, because if the transfer portal didn't exist, you got someone like Austin Novosad who sees the superstar Dylan Raiola in the class of 2024. He sees Devin Brown, the superstar in the class of 2022, and he says, listen, if I got to sit out a year when I transfer, and most likely I'll probably have to transfer if I'm not able to beat out Devin Brown or Dylan Raiola, he can say now, I can go to Ohio State, learn under Ryan Day for 2 years, and then if I have to transfer because Dylan Raiola beats me out, I can go and play immediately. Similar to the Joe Burrow situation. It's very interesting. The transfer portal is allowing some of these kids, because they have immediate eligibility, if they transfer, they don't have to set out a year. A kid like Austin Novosad can say, listen, I'm looking at this Ohio State situation. Even if I don't win the job, I can be developed under Ryan Day, throw to amazing receivers, get great coaching I would not get at a university like Baylor. Nothing against Baylor. I have a lot of respect for Baylor, but I'm just saying, my number one source in a 4-hour phone call this morning laid it all out there and said they want Austin Novosad. He is a quarterback. He's going to finish as a composite top 100 player. And Novosad, the decision is, listen, do I go to Ohio State, get developed under Ryan Day, maybe have to transfer, but with the transfer portal now, I can be immediately eligible to play, again, kind of like Joe Burrow, or do I go to Baylor and possibly get playing time as a true freshman or as a redshirt freshman? And of course, guys, you've got Devin Brown in the class of 2022, Dylan Raiola in the class of 2024. There have been Ohio State fans that have said, what's the point in even taking a QB in the class of 2023? With those guys, it's going to be very hard to get a 5-star or a big-name quarterback. It's almost like a wasted scholarship. Ryan Day is of the belief Ohio State needs one legit scholarship quarterback in every single class. That came straight from my number one source. Ryan Day wants one scholarship quarterback per class, and the reason for that is due to depth issues. And guys, it makes a lot of sense when you think about it. If Devin Brown beats out Kyle McCord next year and wins the starting job, this is after CJ Stroud goes off to the NFL. Next year, there's going to be a major QB battle between Kyle McCord and Devin Brown. And me, along with my number one source, along with many people at Ohio State, expect Devin Brown to beat out Kyle McCord. McCord immediately goes into the transfer portal, and if you don't get a quarterback in the class of 2023, you've got no depth at that point. That's why every single year you need to be taking a quarterback. So the Ohio State QB situation, it's evolving, but Austin Novosad is coming off a visit to Ohio State. He visited a few weeks ago. He's sitting down right now with his family, weighing his options. And the intel that I've received, he's expected to flip his commitment and become an Ohio State Buckeye within the coming weeks. That is absolutely huge news. What a major depth piece. I will say my number one source told me this could be a Jack Miller type situation where he's just more of a depth quarterback and then he'll probably transfer out. Nothing against the kid. It's just Ohio State stacks quarterbacks every single year. You know, you're not going to be able to get every single quarterback playing time. That kind of comes down to the situation next year, the QB battle between McCord and Devin Brown. Does the loser of it actually transfer out, whether it's McCord or Brown? I know for a fact if McCord loses the QB battle, he's transferring next year for sure. And, you know, it'll be an interesting battle. We like Devin Brown a little bit more as a prospect, but nothing against Kyle McCord. He is a phenomenal player. He's a 5-star in his own right. It'll be a great battle. That is major intel we're getting. Austin Novosad, the main guy Ryan Day is focused in on. And then the fallback plan is Brock Glenn, a lower-end 4-star, but a good player in his own right. So this is a trending, evolving situation when it comes to the quarterback situation for Ohio State that we're going to have to continue to track and continue to follow. And guys, we've got some major Noah Rogers news this morning. I received some huge intel regarding Noah Rogers' commitment plans. And guys, we expect Noah Rogers to commit to the program, the Ohio State Buckeyes, this afternoon at the earliest. We could see Noah Rogers committing. I broke the Brandon Inniss commitment. I broke the Carnell Tate commitment. And now I'm calling Noah Rogers the superstar 4-star wide receiver, the number one player in the state of North Carolina. Many expect this kid to be bumped to a 5-star in the coming weeks. There was some questions about the whole NC State thing. He was supposed to make his official visit to Ohio State last week. Guys, my number one source has confirmed that Noah Rogers, the flight was canceled. It's a situation where if Noah wanted to come to Ohio State, he would have had to drove to Baltimore, so it was extremely inconvenient and actually catch a flight from the Baltimore airport. There were some major storms this past week in North Carolina. It was a total cancellation. It wasn't that he didn't want to come to Ohio State. It was a flight issue, and we've got Dylan Raiola and we've got major Ohio State sources screaming that Noah Rogers will be committing to Ohio State very soon. He's officially on commitment watch. We've got the 2024 5-star superstar receiver, Jeremiah Smith, who I put on commitment watch yesterday. I expect him to announce his commitment to Ohio State in the coming days. He's a guy that wanted to commit to the Buckeyes a few months ago. Ryan Day sat him down and said, listen, son, you're a class of 2024. You haven't visited anywhere else. Take your visits, then come back and commit to Ohio State during the summer if you still want to commit to Ohio State. And Jeremiah Smith is buying all the hype. We've got Carnell Tate already in the fold. You've got Brandon Inniss already in the fold. You're looking at getting Noah Rogers possibly today, possibly tomorrow in the fold. The hype around this program, Austin Novosad, there's some murmurs that he is flipping soon, just like I referenced earlier. So there's major stuff going on right now, and this is a major developing situation that we're going to be talking about over the next few hours with Noah Rogers. Will he pull the trigger? Will he announce his commitment? Will Ohio State go back to back to back? And then if Noah Rogers commits today, will we see the superstar 5-star receiver Jeremiah Smith commit tomorrow? So you could get back to back to back to back. 2 5-stars, then a high 4-star, then a 5-star in the class of 2024. It would be Carnell Tate, Brandon Inniss, Noah Rogers, and then Jeremiah Smith. Those would be the 4 wide receivers we're looking at possibly going back to back to back to back. That's what my number one source was hinting at to me. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but that's something that's out there right now. These guys coordinated this and they planned it. But guys, the situation with the QBs right now, Austin Novosad is the guy that Ryan Day has zeroed in on. It's very tough to recruit quarterbacks. Obviously, if you're Ohio State, you have the number one player in 2024 already committed who happens to be a quarterback, so that's going to be tough. You're going to have to go with a guy that's a little bit more developmental, maybe a little bit more of a depth piece. And guys, Ryan Day is taking a quarterback no matter what. He wants a quarterback every single class for depth purposes because, again, the situation, what if Devin Brown beats out Kyle McCord next year and McCord immediately transferred? Dylan Raiola isn't coming until 2024. Yes, you could get a portal quarterback as a backup, but it would be a lot similar to the Justin Fields situation when Ohio State really had no depth. You had Justin Fields, but then you had like Gunnar Hoke, who was a transfer from Kentucky, I believe, as the only backup. So there is absolutely major stuff going on right now. These are huge stories in Ohio State recruiting. We're expecting many commits within the coming days. We haven't even talked about the young superstar, four-star Jermaine Matthews, who is a kid that absolutely showed out at LSU's camp. He's going to end up being a top 150 kid in the composite for sure. He's a superstar who's right now also on commit watch, according to my number one source. So, guys, there's so many different guys. We've got Noah Rogers. We've got Jermaine Matthews. We've got Jeremiah Smith. We've got Austin Novosad. We will continue to update this situation. It's trending. It's evolving. But, guys, make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.